Let's take a quick look at a couple more headers that are part of the C standard library. One of those is the math functions. I've only included a few of them here because I will be the first to admit that I am no math major. I have always been a accounting type programmer, but they're here and they're useful if you do that kind of scientific work. Almost all of the functions in math.h expect to take in double values and return double values, double type values back out. Here's a few examples and what they look like. And of course, take a look at the math.h as part of your compiler or the K&R book if you pick that up, or any of the other good C references that are out there to find out all of the other functions that are available to you in math.h. For example, sine, cosine, and tangent of a value of x, a power, x raised to the power of y, and square root of x. Pretty self-explanatory if you're into that sort of thing. But again, take a look at your math.h and you'll see that you will have much more than this at your fingertips. Here's the standard library. Some of the items that are in standard lib. There are several more functions in the standard library, but they're not as commonly used as these. For example, ASCII to float, A to F. You pass it a string of that appears to be a number, a series of numbers. It's a string of digits, though, and then that will be turned into a double variable and returned to a type double. There's also ASCII to integer, ASCII to long, several other A to UI for unsigned integer, some other conversions. So if you need to get from one type to another, a string to a kind of number, you use one of the A2s in standard lib.h. If you need a random value, you can get that with rand, and rand will produce a number from 0 up to the max rand, and that is implementation dependent. Your compiler may produce a larger value than another machine's compiler, another kind of machine. You seed the pseudo-random generator with an srand, and normally you can get a timing function and pick up a time of day or a number of seconds that the machine has been running and use that as a seed for the srand. So we know there's no such thing as a computer-generated random number. It's really just a pseudo-random based on some calculations. But the srand will cause, with a different seed, will cause a different set of randoms for every run of your program. calloc is memory allocation, and you tell it how many of these objects that you want, a number of objects of a particular size, and calloc will obtain that enough memory to hold the number of objects of that size, and it will clear them to 0 before giving you back a pointer to that memory space. malloc does exactly the same thing with just the size parameter, but it does not clear it. It does not clear out the memory, and it, of course, returns a pointer of buffer. Free of buffer will return the memory back to the storage pool. It will release it back to the operating system to hand out to other programs. So that's just a few of the math.h and the standard lib.h functions that are available to you. Again, check your header files and take a look at the rest of them. They're usually well commented.